Heute Nacht war es endlich soweit. Nach zahlreichen Verschiebungen durfte die Crew 3 endlich zur ISS aufbrechen. Für alle, die nicht die Möglichkeit hat, den Start live mit zu verfolgen und auch keine Lust haben, sich den 4-stündigen Livestream anzuschauen, haben wir das Wichtigste in diesem Video zusammengeschnitten. Im kommenden Video gibt es dann nochmal den Zusammenschnitt des Andock-Manövers. Und ab kommender Woche sind wir auch wieder wie gewohnt für euch da. Die News übernimmt dann nochmal Lukas und ich bin wieder für euch mit den Facts am Start. Nun viel Spaß mit dem Zusammenschnitt.
I'm ESA astronaut Matthias Maurer. I will be mission specialist on the NASA SpaceX Crew 3 mission to the International Space Station. I was born in Germany. I grew up there, and for the first 20 years I actually stayed in the more or less the same area. I was an ambulance driver for almost 2 years, and I also financed my studies later on by working on the weekend. I studied 2 years in Germany, material science. Then I went for a year to the UK, studied there material science, and discovered how much you can learn while being in a different country. That was a huge inspiration for me, and I decided to keep on learning more languages and continue in different countries. In 2008, ESA started the call for new astronauts. Out of 8,500 applicants, only 10 candidates passed all the tests and were considered suitable for astronauts. I was one of them. I was always fascinated by space. And what does an astronaut actually do? So an astronaut works with a lot of engineering stuff. We do science in space. We work in international teams. And the adventure that we are able to live as astronauts in a combination of these 4 facts: engineering on the edge of what is possible, science, international teams, and adventure that's only possible as an astronaut. I think Crew 3 is a kind of a rookie crew with only one experienced spaceflyer, Tom. But on the other hand, I don't feel like that we are rookies at all. Raja has a huge background in flying. Kayla, she has a huge background in working in a very difficult and highly technical environment. I don't consider both of them rookies. I believe we are an extremely good team, and after a few days in space, I think we will be there and it will be our environment. Once we arrive on the International Space Station, we will run a lot of experiments. My focus will be lots of experiments in the material science domain. The name of my mission is Cosmic Kiss. It's a declaration of love to space, and especially to the 2 only oases that we have in space, our beautiful planet Earth and the International Space Station. The patch is inspired by Guides of Nebra. It's a 4,000-year-old disk that was found in Germany, and it shows to me that people already 4,000 years ago watched the night sky and were fascinated with the universe. And they probably asked the same questions that we ask ourselves. How did the universe start? How did life come to our planet Earth? Is there life somewhere else in the universe? There's a huge number of people in Europe, in the US, in Russia, in Canada, in Japan, all those people that contribute that human spaceflight is actually possible. I want to say thank you to everyone who helped me to arrive at that point that I'm today. I will be thinking of you when I fly to space, and I send all my love to you down on the ground.
Tonight's launch, the SpaceX team performed a static fire of the Falcon with Dragon vehicle back on 27 October. This ran the team and the flight hardware through the countdown. We ran the engines for 7 seconds.
For operating the International Space Station, working in tandem with our partner agencies and providers around the globe. Together, we've ensured the station is ready to welcome Crew 3 as the 4 astronauts arrive and join the current Expedition 66 crew. Leading the team inside the room right now is Flight Director Rebecca Wingfield, as the crew on board station has just entered their sleep period to prepare to support approach monitoring tomorrow. Wingfield will return as NASA Flight Director for Dragon's approach and docking, and she'll lead the joint NASA-SpaceX go-no-goes once we're in joint operations with mission controls here in Houston and at SpaceX in Hawthorne, working in sync to bring Crew Dragon to its new home in space.
They'll be riding in the first car. Riding in the first car will be the suit techs and the spacecraft closeout lead. In the second Tesla, Commander Raj Achari and pilot Tom Marshburn, they'll be sharing a ride with the NASA flight surgeon, a position Marshburn once held. And in the third vehicle will be Kayla Barron and Matthias Maurer and another closeout lead. And of course, we will follow the convoy every step of the way, live, watching them go to their destination at 39A, the launch pad, a historic launch pad here at the Kennedy Space Center. We're going to get you as close as we possibly can without actually being inside the car with them, Shannon.
Yes, I suppose we could put a little camera in there, but anyway, we will track their progress from the ONC building out to this launch pad.
We have another guest close by for launch today who worked for years on certifying the SpaceX Crew Transportation System. Earlier, NASA's Marie Lewis caught up. If that doesn't get you going.
I think so. But they will not be sleeping in that car.
And it's interesting that the playlist is actually 10 to 12 songs long. I'm not going to read them all, but they've actually sampled portions. And there they go. When does the music start?
Oh, the music starts immediately. Yes.
So as we can see, the crew is departing from the Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout Building, now beginning that 20-minute
All stations
drive
for
with full
countdown.
security escort.
We are departing the ONC building on schedule. It's 10 hours and 2 minutes.
We are back on time. Escort there. Full security escort across NASA's Kennedy Space Center. That location right there. Launch pad 39. As we follow the convoy, we'd like to take a closer look. Fascinating the effort that goes into making that software. And there's a view inside the crew access arm, Raj Achari, Tom Marshburn, as they make their way looking out the windows towards their spacecraft. It's a great shot inside that
That is a great shot.
that access arm.
And there they are approaching the end. The capsule's
The
just
white
off to their
room,
left.
Right?
Yep.
And there's a
white
little
room.
tradition that happens inside there.
1 to 4 from right to left when looking at the seats. Raj Achari will be in seat 2 or the commander seat, and Tom Marshburn will be beside him in seat 3, which for Crew Dragon is the pilot seat. Kayla Barron will be in seat 1 and Matthias Maurer will be in seat 4. Directly in front of the crew members are 3 displays which they'll use throughout flight, getting inside into Dragon systems, seeing any alerts or issues with the vehicle, if required, taking control and manually flying Dragon.
We're getting some great shots of the crew members signing that white wall room. And once they ingress and get buckled in and strapped into their seats, they will do a comm check to make sure that they can hear mission control, and then their seats will be rotated into position for launch.
NASA astronaut Mark Vande did work with teams on the ground in order to get the broadcast streamed up to the space station, so he's going to watch his soon-to-be crewmates launch live as well. The crew on board have completed a number of other tasks as well to prepare the station for Crew 3's arrival. NASA astronaut Mark Vande received some additional onboard training for monitoring Dragon during its final approach, which he'll do from the station's cupola.
For most of the countdown, but now we're going to squeeze that last little bit in, make sure that the tanks are fully up on the
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. And liftoff. Got 3.
Copy, 1 Alpha. Laboratory in orbit, the International Space Station. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1, propulsion is nominal.
And that's the call we want to hear. Good performance on that first stage so far.
T plus 30 seconds, Falcon 9 powered by 9 Merlin 1Ds. Pushing Dragon into low Earth orbit on the way to the International Space Station.
Power and telemetry nominal. Stage 1 throttle down.
And we're into the throttle bucket in preparation for max Q. Getting ready to throttle the engines back up.
Stage 1 throttle up. Max Q.
Stage 1 Bravo.
Copy, 1 Bravo.
That 1 Bravo call is for the second stage abort mode on the first stage. That is going to take them through the first stage, burning just before the second stage activates off the coast of North Carolina. That next milestone coming up shortly will be MVAC chill underway.
MVAC chill underway.
There's the call out. We're getting the second stage engine turbopumps ready for their ignition coming up in just a little more than 40 seconds. We've got the major events coming up here shortly. We're going to get main engine cutoff at 2 minutes 36 seconds. The stages will separate, then the second stage will ignite, carrying Dragon on its way into low Earth orbit. Everything continues to look good.
Stage 1 throttle down.
Stage 1 throttling down at 3.5 Gs. Getting ready for MECO.
MECO. Stage separation.
Stage 2 Alpha.
Copy, 2 Alpha.
All right, we have ignition of the second stage. And you saw that green flash of that T-TEP fluid. And Crew 3 is now on their way to the International Space Station.
On the left side, first stage, you can see the titanium grid fins coming out, the streaks of the exhaust of the second stage engine going by, and the lights of Florida down in the background.
Acquisition signal.
That's right, and on your right, that second stage glowing. With that red color we like to see, indicating everything is proceeding well. Now 3 minutes and 40 seconds into flight, everything's still on track.
Acquisition of signal Bermuda.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory
And that
nominal.
That call out of acquisition of signal
copy.
Bermuda, that just means the Bermuda ground station has the signals from the second stage of Dragon and Falcon 9.
Now currently on the first stage, we are coasting to apogee, beginning a slow 180-degree pitch, so that when the vehicle comes back through the atmosphere, the engines are pointed down towards the drone ship when we do the relight. Relight for the entry burn will come at T plus 7 minutes and 30 seconds, 3 minutes from now. Currently the first stage about 166 kilometers up, continuing to coast to apogee for another brief period.
Meanwhile, that second stage still propelling the Crew 3 astronauts up the eastern seaboard, and it will continue to fire. That's about a 6-minute burn to deliver the astronauts into orbit.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
Endurance copies.
And a good call out from the ground teams.
I always love to hear trajectory nominal, and the crew gets to hear it too on the call out.
Acquisition of signal, New Hampshire.
And the New Hampshire tracking station has acquired the telemetry signal. Five minutes and 30 seconds into flight today, everything is still proceeding nominal.
And Courtney, right now on the second stage, it's such a large amount of propellant. It takes a while for second stage to really accelerate. The crew right now
Dragon,
looks like they're
SpaceX,
pulling about.
trajectory nominal.
Looks like we're pulling about 1.5 Gs.
Yeah, right on cue, those check-ins on the second stage performance. Everything is still looking good on that second stage. The next milestone on the second stage will be SECO. And we're getting our views now from inside of Endurance, our first views of the crew on their way to the International Space Station.
We're 1 minute away from entry burn of the first stage. Hopefully we'll get a camera view back on the first stage as we light the 3 engines to come back into the Earth's atmosphere.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
Endurance copies.
Another good check-in with the crew, confirming everything is still looking good so far on both ends. That next milestone coming at 7 minutes and 30 seconds will be entry burn start.
Currently waiting for the call out from the SpaceX propulsion responsible engineer that the 3 Merlin 1D engines have lit to begin slowing down the first stage prior to entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Stage 1 entry burn is in startup.
We've heard stage 1 entry burn and startup. We've lit the center engine. We've got the 2 side engines, 3 engines running. This is a 27-second burn. This will slow the first stage down. We'll then enter the atmosphere where the grid fins begin to work, and then we will fire the single center engine as we approach the drone ship.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Confirmation entry burn shutdown.
And meanwhile, that second stage is less than a minute away from cutoff.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Shannon.
Copy, Shannon.
There's that call for Shannon.
Stage 1 is transonic.
Stage 1 decelerating as we prepare for entry burn, but our attention is right now looking at stage 2 as we get ready for shutdown.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal orbit insertion.
And the second stage has done its job. Our Crew 3 astronauts have been delivered into orbit.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Landing leg deploy.
Endurance copies. We feel SECO and SILE confirms we are in space.
Dragon, SpaceX, launch escape system is disarmed.
Stage 1 landing is confirmed.
And we've heard the call out. Stage 1 landing is confirmed.
Loss of signal Cape and acquisition of signal Newfoundland.
Some great call outs. That next milestone is spacecraft separation around 12 minutes into flight. Getting a view now of the Crew 3 astronauts from a camera aboard Dragon. The crew now coasting in low Earth orbit, still attached to that second stage. Again, that next milestone coming in about 2 minutes. That second stage will separate, and Crew Dragon will be flying free.
And Courtney, right now, the Falcon 9 second stage is still attached to the Dragon capsule. When it's time, Dragon will command separation from the Falcon 9 second stage. Right now, that second stage, under control of its flight computer, is essentially going through a sequence to idle the second stage, make sure we're not pulsing any of the cold gas thrusters, the engine has been purged out. Essentially anything that might cause motion of the second stage, we're making sure that all of that is eliminated so that when Dragon separates, it's got a very stable platform to move away from. The cheering in the background, they're getting video back of Falcon 9 first stage on drone ship as we get ready for Dragon separation.
That's right, John. Separation coming just 10 seconds from now. Standing by for that call.
Expected loss of signal, Wallops.
And again, we are standing by. There we go.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Dragon, CE, welcome to orbit. Hope you enjoyed the ride from F9. Dragon will take you from here. Safe travels. Stand by for words from LD.
And Endurance, LD here. On behalf of the SpaceX launch and recovery teams, it was a pleasure to be part of this mission with you. Enjoy your holidays amongst the stars. We'll be waving as you fly by. Cheers.
Wow. Incredible views of the crew now in orbit on their way to the International Space Station.
It was a great ride, better than we imagined.
And some final words from the crew as well. There they are, our Crew 3 astronauts. Now in orbit. That next milestone will be the deployment of the nose cone. That'll be about a 5-minute process. It'll expose those forward bulkhead Dracos and will prepare them for checkouts as well.
Courtney, watching them in zero-G right now, working their displays, it looks so easy, but we had the benefit of watching the launch team, the spacecraft team, the NASA team, everybody working here for the last weeks, working through this, and it's good to see it come out looking just so easy right now.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, and we're so excited to see them in orbit.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal dehumidifier activation and service section Draco checkouts.